In this video, I am going to demonstrate how to install a Python implementation on your Android phone. There are many, but I will choose pydroid for the time being. You can see pydroid 3, something which you can get from Google Store. And once you start installing, it takes hardly much time. I'm on a pretty slow connection right now. It's only around a 50 MB download. So it gets done. And once it's done, of course, when you finally open the file, open the app, it does a quick installation, which essentially means putting the various files in the right places. And in no time at all, you're ready to actually start using Python. So if you want to use Python, there are various ways. You can, of course, use the editor directly. And you can use a terminal to key in various commands. The font size typically is pretty small to begin with, so you can change that, of course. And once you've done that, you have a decent font size, and you can then go back to actual work. You can start the interpreter, and once you start the interpreter, you can do whatever you want to do in Python. Say from math, import star to get all the math commands in. This, of course, is familiar to everybody who has used Python. And then just to demonstrate that things are working, I'm using this to calculate sine of 1, which of course is sine of 1 radians, and this works fine. Now, what is important is that we may need to install other software like NumPy. For that, you have to go to pip. And in pip, once you go to search libraries, type in NumPy, hit search. You'll get a lot of versions, but the very first one is what you want. Just click on install, and it works very, very quickly. Again, just to remind you, I'm not on a very fast connection. This installation is reasonably quick. It's done already. I would need to install matplotlib for plotting purposes. That also is quite quick. And finally, because I want to do various scientific calculations on my phone, I'm installing SciPy. Let me point out at this time that I actually prefer another Android app called QPython. At least I used to prefer that, but QPython has a problem. Matplotlib does not work very well in that. So everything else works fine, and in fact I'm more used to QPython than to pydroid, this one. But this is also quite nice. So just to see whether these things are working, I will just essentially import NumPy as NP. So you can see whether NumPy works here. It will take a bit of time to import, and then I will also import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT to show you the plotting capabilities. Once we have done that, we'll just do a very quick rudimentary plot using these tools. So I set up a array of numbers using the linspace command from Access. This is just for demonstration purposes that things work. So I've taken a array from 0 to 10 of 1000 points. These are equally spaced, linearly equally spaced, and I'm using the NumPy magic of directly working with arrays to calculate sine square of all the elements in the array Access here. And once we have done that, I set up the plot. So just one word of warning: plt.show will not work on your phone unless you install a lot of other stuff. So after setting up the plot, what I'm going to do is use savefig. So savefig essentially saves the plot in a figure, and of course you have to give the name of the file where it wants to go and with the proper extension. So I'm using test.png here, And so whatever plot I set up in the line before, that gets saved into a file called test.png, which by default goes into your root folder. You can of course change that in preferences. And this is what the file looks like. So as you can see, you can actually use Python pretty well from your Android phone. That's it. Bye for now.